going to be a 3 for 4 in favor of... Internet, hello, and welcome back to OKLCS Season 3, Week 5. We just saw... PIGZ Lordsburg take the win over Oklahoma Gold Rush. We asked you for your vote on MVP, and we really only have like 2 votes right now.
But it's for Parallelogram.
Yeah, Parallelogram's going to get MVP for the PIGZ Lordsburg.
For the match.
So, we're going to be getting into our second game of the night between... PIGZ Might Fly and EVO. So yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into that one. Blah. Blah. Okay. PIGZ Might Fly, returning champions. They are the gold... of course, this is Plat Cap, but last split, they were gold cap champions. Having a little bit of a struggle in the first 2 weeks. They were... starting out 0-2. Evolution, I actually have no idea what their record is either. What is their record right now?
I think 1-1. I want to say
is it
1-1,
1-1?
but I don't know.
I have no idea. There's what because there was the one game at the beginning of the split between Evolution and Zero Effort that went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I can't even remember who won that one.
It happens. A lot of games that we go through, a lot of results.
But anyways, PIGZ Might Fly. They've replaced one of their members, their longtime jungler Mormon V Slayer, no longer on the starting roster, picking up PIGZ, who is playing this Graves right now. Have to see how well he fits into the team.
Yeah.
And OG Camel Rider pulling out his Orianna. He's been a real powerhouse in the mid lane in his divisions, and we'll have to see how it works for him.
Yeah, I think we've seen him do well. I think it's 3 champions: Syndra, Orianna, and Zed, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely
do like especially well on those champions. The good, solid champion pool. Got a kind of team fighter, got your early mid-game pick, and you've got your assassin, your AD pick. So nice, well-rounded trio there.
Yeah, and General Vici pulling out this Twitch pick. They've got sort of a pseudo enhancement composition with the Nami and the Orianna, just giving General Vici some of those extra stats.
Or even Finichisms if the situation calls for it.
Yeah.
Graves can be pretty decent carry.
Of course, the Shen. Yeah, can't forget about that Shen United. Woo. So General Vici is a lot of pressure on him to carry through this game for the Pigs Might Fly. It's gonna be hard when you're up against Syndra and Nautilus, who have two press R on the AD carry buttons. That depth charge and that unleashed power. Xinhua does have brush control here. He is on a ward, but Pigs Might Fly forced away. There's the level 2 for the bottom lane with EVO. Rembone's up in the top lane, playing this Shen versus Nautilus. Both of these champions are pretty mainstay tanks in the top lane in competitive play.
For sure.
Nautilus in general has been a huge pick for LCS, at least in this last week or so. The most contested top laner.
Yeah, he has such a good laning phase for a tank. Like, his last hitting ability is pretty solid with it at that passive, and his wave clear is good with the E and the W, and without expending too much mana, he can wave clear and have
hold on a second. Fennecism's making his first gank into the bottom lane. Not too much damage. There's the Aqua Prison onto Renji, but everyone has already backed away. And Jordan is going to be trying to punish that gank by some counter jungle on the top side, but it's not going to find too much. If he ventures deep enough, he'll find that Gromp. And nothing else is gonna happen. Xinhua and Aravan just trade some damage back, but yeah, okay. Alright, Rembones and Ryok's gonna be facing off in the top lane. Of course, the Nautilus gonna be shoving in, as he does naturally with that Riptide, but CS lead for Rembones, just getting those last hits a little better than Ryok's is. The Mantra Q gonna find Aravan, but not too much damage, and especially not after the ebb and flow. I really very much like Karma right now. With Ardent Sensor meta being so strong on a lot of these support champions, even tank champions. Oh, hold on a second. This is Shadow Dash through from Rembones. He's gonna pop out the Spirit's Refuge, which I know the name of now.
Circle W thing, Alex.
Yeah.
Circle W thing.
Seeing OG Camel Rider get shoved in by Richard in the mid lane. He's opted for the Exhaust up against Syndra, which is nice because Exhaust has the exact same range as Unleashed Power. You're fast enough, you can exhaust her before she walks out and lets the balls hit you.
Yeah, Exhaust still pretty good against, most champions. I think they just wanted it to be a little less effective against AD carries. And yeah, overpowered.
It used to do so much. It did the attack speed debuff, it did the damage reduction, it did the resistances.
Resistances, yeah. It was damage output, attack speed, resistances,
and move speed.
And that was
absolutely absurd.
So deadly for certain champions and less deadly for others because of that attack speed debuff.
Yeah, like Callista, you just get absolutely destroyed by Exhaust.
And we've actually, since the changes to Exhaust and some minor buffs to Callista and Bork and whatnot, we've seen her kind of come back in favor even in LCS. Getting picked up here and there, which is, kind of just lots of little changes over time brought her back.
Wait a second, something happening in the mid lane. It looks like Jordan showed up, missed his Q, and walked away. I just saw on the minimap something was happening. Lee Sin came behind OG Camel Rider, but then nothing else happened, so that's something that can only soon happen. Dredgeline pulls in Rembones, but the Riptide doing a decent chunk of damage.
You want to hold your autos whenever Shin does that, especially if you have something like Nautilus passive, because it will expire, but you won't get it.
Well, it'd be consumed.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. It consumed. It gets consumed, but you don't get to
get the bonus damage or the root.
So if you auto him during that and then auto him again afterwards, you're not going to get the root bonus damage. You gotta hold it if you see him do it.
General Vici doing a pretty good job here in this lane up against Caitlyn Karma. That's a really abusive bottom lane combo, and he's actually pulling himself just a slight bit ahead in CS over Renji on the side of EVO.
Yeah, Twitch has been a pretty solid pick ever since those changes to his Venom Cask.
Yeah, and with lethality carries lethality marksman kind of dying out here, I'm curious as to why Jordan took away the blue buff instead of handing it off to Richard. He's a Lee Sin. But I guess he just values that early jungle experience for himself. He's not quite yet level 6 either. Monster Q is going to find General Vici, and there's the Root coming in. There's the Aqua Prison onto 2. Nice disengage from Aravan. Sonic Wave not even going to find him.
Would very likely be dead or have both summoners burned.
Such a good Aqua Prison
so
for
really
Aravan.
good, really good Aqua Prison.
But
it'd be nice if Riot just named things like what they look like. Just call it Bubble, Circly W thing.
I mean, most people do call it Bubble.
Nautilus hook. Just
they're like, oh man, look at that bubble. I just call it Aqua Prison because I'm used to calling it Aqua Prison.
That's good on you.
Oh, Aqua Prison off of the Piltover Peacemaker. He's standing in the Venom Cask, but no follow-up damage from General Vici. Yeah, you can really catch a lot of CC onto Caitlyn whenever she's using that Piltover Peacemaker if she doesn't chain it with the 90 caliber net.
Yeah.
She sort of stands still for about half a second while using that ability. Yeah, and look at General Vici. He's really pulling himself ahead in CS now over Renji. Really good job to just sort of survive and actually pull himself ahead in this lane. Does, of course, have Aravan to help him out, saving him from that really potent gank there. PIGZ might fly actually across the board, pulling themselves ahead in CS. Except for Aravan, he's down infinitely compared to Chinois. Thank you very much. Now Rembone's going for a trade up against Ryox, but you can't really trade against the Nautilus at this point in the game.
That's what I was talking about when I was talking about how just sort of safe and good his laning phase is relative to some of the other tanks. Yeah. You can just stand in the minion wave with that shield and put off so much damage. You can't compete. Like that.
Holy cow. I had the pleasure of playing against a bunch of Nautiluses this week. Or this weekend, rather. Oh, Dredgeline's gonna pull him in onto Rembones. There's the depth charge, and that's first blood! Ryox! Just with the aggressive play, Fennecisms dodges away from the Scout of the Week, but it's a really nice solo kill in the top lane for Ryox.
He had the mana, he had the ultimate up, but he hasn't had it for... He's actually had it for a while. He's probably been itching to use it, honestly.
Yeah. You see, when that's just so much damage, I remember there was one point I was playing with you. Hold on a second. No, there's gonna be the tether onto General Vici. The Mantra Q will keep him in place. The 90 cal or the Yordle Snaptrap gonna find Aravan. There's the Stand United to keep him alive. And now General Vici going in. Rembones gets the flash taunt flashed away from by Renji. General Vici turning it on to Chinois, who flashes forward for the spray and pray. The Summoner heal's not gonna be enough to keep him alive. And now all 5 members of PIGZ might fly here in the bottom lane. OG Camel Rider and Fennecisms a little too late to join the party, but they will offer their moral support nonetheless. Jordan and Ryox going to be starting off the Rift Herald as PIGZ might fly start off onto this dragon.
One of the reasons it was pretty easy to take Shin down there. Shin hasn't built any magic resistance yet, and Shin is actually one of the squishiest champions in the game.
Yeah, the only tankiness comes from his kit. Rembone's going to get sped up. He's going to get the Sonic Wave. He's looking for the Shadow Dash under Richard. Shockwave pulls him away, but he will flash away after the kick. Nice kick from Jordan to disengage the fight. So Dragon traded for Rift Herald. First Blood did go down in the top lane. And yeah, actually, Rembones didn't have any items before that.
Yeah.
Before that kill in the first place. Rift Herald is actually transferred onto Ryox, it looks like.
Pretty decent on certain tanks. Really helps with their trading and split pushing.
Camel Rider pops the little dissonance on himself. I think he meant to attack first. So Sunfire Cape finished off for Ryox. And it's really hard kind of to itemize against Shen. He does a lot of auto attack damage.
Yeah.
But you got a decent chunk of magic damage in your kit as well.
Yeah, I can't actually remember if the E is physical or magic.
The E for sure is physical.
It is physical?
Yeah, but the Q procs
No, I know the Q procs
are... The Q procs are magic.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about the E's damage, though. I just know that its damage scales with health.
I remember there was a game where I was playing with you, I was jungling, and you got the top laner really low as Nautilus. And I was like, oh sweet, I can finish him off after the depth charge, and the depth charge just popped him, and I was just like, what the heck is Nautilus? Oh, General Vici, moving a little bit too far forward here, but he turns out some auto attacks on the Renji with the Tidecaller's Blessing. Jordan making his way into the bottom lane here. They're looking for it. They speed him up. He's going to have the Sonic Wave. Not going to land it onto anyone, but he's looking for the kick onto Aravan. Kicks him back into the brush. He's going to use the title to disengage because Fennecism's here. The collateral damage will take out Shinhwa. Jordan gets Aravan. In the meantime, there's a teleport in from Ryox onto Fennecism, but here's the Stand United. Jordan will fall down. Double kill over to General Vici and the taunt onto Ryox, and they will focus him down. He flashes away. Dredgeline pulls him to safety. PIGZ might fly come out 3 for 1 after of a good Stand United and counter gang from Fennecisms. Oh, OG Camera Rider stunned up by the Scout of the Week, but no follow-up from Richard. Yeah, the finished Morella Namicon available for OG Camel Rider. Richard had enough gold for it, so he said, screw your Morella Namicon, I'm gonna get a rod.
Really gonna try and get.
Ooh, OG Camera Rider stunned up, misses the cannon to the tower. Misses the cannon to the tower. That's a tilter. And now EVO Lucian trying to clean up the minion wave that they can on the bottom lane. The Blade of the Rune King finished off for General Vici on this Twitch. He's going to be building some attack speed. Looks like the Runon's Hurricane next.
Yeah.
2-0-2 on this Twitch now.
Yeah, rushing Borg and having an Ami, that's... You still have pretty decent trading power, but you have a lot of sustain too.
Yeah, and
if you take some poke from the Karma Cable.
Yeah, Blade of the Rune King just so powerful as an item now, especially to rush, and as a result, I think and this is something I really like that Riot has done in recent memory. They've really done a good job diversifying the AD carry meta with this change to Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah. And also the nerfs to lethality.
Yeah, that too.
Helped.
Aravan gonna catch the Yordle Snap Trap and a headshot, and nullify by the Ebb and Flow. Yeah, almost every champion has either a meta or off-meta build now that involves rushing Blade of the Rune King and is reasonably viable.
Yeah.
And Rambone's just trying to catch the minion wave away from the tower. Dredgeland's gonna pull him in, but he's got a Sunfire Cape. That's not any magic resist, but you do get some health for that one. And Ryox itemizing full armor right now. He's got 2 cloth armor sitting in his inventory after the Sunfire Cape.
Though Shin's damage is pretty mixed, for a tank, the most dangerous damage to you is probably going to be the Q damage because it's based off of your max health.
Yeah, which is magic damage,
Which
of
is
course.
magic, yeah.
I guess he's just more concerned with the fact that he's healing with Twitch Graves, and that's going to be the majority of the damage later on. Jordan looking for the kick onto OG Camel Rider, but flashed away from... Didn't want to give him the chance to kick him towards the Syndra. I'm gonna see Fennecism going for the Warrior Enchant. Hold on a second, General Vici taking a lot of damage from that Karma. Ace in the Hole is available, but it will be obviously easily blocked up by Aravan. And Jordan looking for the gank into the bottom lane. He sees a control ward. He says, okay, there's no way I'm getting this. So General Vici going in. He gets the Stand United. Coming in, the Tidal Wave knocks up 2 members of Evolution. There's the Shadow Dash taunt onto Jordan B69. OG Camel Rider gets a solo kill onto Richard in the meantime. And Rembo's looking for those auto attacks. Nice turnaround by PIGZ might fly. General Vici knowing I have the Shen ready and waiting for me. I'm just going to go in with the invisibility. Jordan thinking he's safe to take away that control ward. PIGZ might fly, pick up a couple kills for themselves. Shadow Dash is not going to find EVO Lucian's bottom lane. And the PIGZ might fly just going to bully their way into the bottom lane tower for first tower blood. Ryox trying to answer back in the top lane, but there's a teleport coming in from Rembones. He's going to be able to stop that one from going down.
A little bit creep block on the minion there. It looked kind of funny.
Pig might flag gonna get an unanswered dragon for themselves as well. Alright, Ryok's gonna teleport his way up into the top lane to answer Rembones' push. He's now picked up the Ninja Tabis out of the first cloth armor. Still has the second one, sitting on a null magic mantle as well. I wonder what that'll be. It could be a Guardian Angel, could be a ZZ Rot portal. I don't think rushing the ZZ Rot portal this early in this case is necessarily what you want to do. Rembone's gonna get pulled in by the Dredge Slime, take some damage, decent chunk actually onto what you'd consider a tank.
He's almost half health out of one little rotation.
Of course, as you said, Shen not naturally tanky. All of his tankiness comes from the constant shielding from his kit. And of course, how much you can dodge with Spirit's Refuge.
Yes.
We're seeing Rembones go for that Titanic Hydra that has become standard on this Shen. Gives you a lot of pushing power along with the Sunfire Cape. General Vici taking a lot of damage there from Richard. It could be very dangerous. He's gonna Dredge Line, not quite pull him out, but he does take a lot of damage. OG Camel Rider gets Yordle Snap Trapped up, but there's the Shockwave not available actually, but Renji will just fall down. I'm not sure if he thought he could take that fight, but clearly could not. Airvan gonna get stunned up by the Scat of the Week. This is Dash Warp a little bit slow on that Ward Hop from Jordan, looking for the kick, but ends up just sort of looking kind of silly, to be honest. Ryok's gonna pull Dredge Line onto Rembones. He's putting down no auto attack damage in that Spirit's Refuge. Shadow Dash onto Ryox because pigs might fly, have the backup here. Dredge Line's not going to pull Ryox anywhere. Depth Charge knocks two of them up. He's going to try and run his way towards the the Blast Cone. Erevan now getting jumped on by Jordan. He gets exhausted through the kick, and there's the Sand United onto Erevan. Tidal Wave knocks up Jordan, and this Shadow Dash is going to find him, and now Fennecisms is ready to just free auto. He's looking for the kill into Erevan, but he will not find it. Rembones keeps him alive. OG Camel Rider gets a kill onto Chinhua, but he will go down to the combo of Richard and Renji.
Yeah, he tried walking back towards the Syndra once he saw Renji come around the corner.
Oh, Ryox is gonna fancy his chances up against General Vici because he's got Richard here. Scat of the Week will find him as well as the ace in the hole, but General Vici keeps himself alive. Richard gonna go very low through collateral damage, but he will get taken out by the flash auto from Fennecisms. And just a little bit too far forward by the mid laner of Evolution. General Vici fancies his chances with that one, but he goes in for it. Chinhua, or Renji rather, having to flash away. He's gonna get the free autos from the Rat-a-tat-tat! Spray and pray rather, and Erevan will keep him alive with that ebb and flow.
Summoner heal came in for both AD carries there. Made it a pretty tight fight.
General Vici 303 on this Twitch. It seems as though Pigs Might Fly might have found their flow back. 11-3 right now, just under 4k gold in the lead. Yeah, and Rembones is sitting on a lot of gold right now, 3.3k. He's looking for the Shadow Dashes. Ooh, not the taunt flash you wanted, but the Shockwave pulls in Ryox. Rembones trying to tank it up. Chinhua gonna come in, but he does not succeed in shielding his top laner. There's the Shadow Dash on the Chinhua, and now the double kill for OG Camel Rider. The support of Evolution not being where he needs to be. Rather, not being where he doesn't need to be. There's a difference. Now Renji here, but I don't know if he really wants to be here. He's saying, yeah, they could dive me, guys. He has to back very, very far away. 2 towers to 0 in favor of Pigs Might Fly. Now 5k gold up. Jordan looking for a gank onto OG Camel Rider. That Stand United is available, however, and that makes Evolution have to reconsider anything they might want to do. Oh, Fennecism's in the back line. He's gonna get kicked back towards the tower, but not takes tower aggro. Fennecism's now fighting on. He gets command protect. Again, there's the same United like we were just talking about. Renchi goes down. Another kill for Pigs Might Fly. Aqua Prison a little too early onto Ryox, who gets the teleport in. Rembone's gonna get knocked up by the death charge. Pulled in by the dredge line. Shockwave pulled in 2 members of Evolution. Richard has to back away after the scatter or the unleashed power. Spirit Visage in full, as well as the Mercury Shreds coming out for Rembones after that recall with 4,000 gold.
Fennecism's doing a lot of damage in these fights, especially at the beginning of that one. He has the Black Cleaver. One auto attack will fully apply the armor shred if it's, you know, up front.
Yeah.
Each missile, each part of the buckshot counts towards that, so it doesn't take long for him to stack that thing.
Yeah, and so many members of Pigs Might Fly are absolutely massive right now. You've got the Morella Ludens for OG Camel Rider, that Black Cleaver you were just talking about on the side of Fennecism's. First really tower of the game goes down for Evolution.
Like that.
Now, Pigs Might Fly starting off on their 3rd dragon of the game. It looks like it's going to be uncontested by the members of Evolution. No vision in the pit. Not gonna be smited up. Fennecisms did have it available, but he says, yeah, no one's nearby. I'll just let my Shen auto it. And yeah, that Blade of the Rune King Runon's Hurricane combination.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage. Really stacks his, what do they call it these days? Expunge or something? What is it?
Oh, you mean the, well, yeah, it's Contaminate.
Contaminate now, right.
It should be called Expunge, but actually it's not the same thing. Expunge means something different from what the ability does now, even though they are actually identical in terms of game function.
Yes. Reminds me, so much effort went into the Aatrox rework that they didn't realize that one of the names they gave to one of his new functions was literally already a thing. They figured it out after the fact. Someone was like, isn't this the name of something on Draven's kid or something? And it's like, oh, shit.
I mean, he still has blood price on one of his abilities, and that he doesn't, there's no price, you don't pay health for that anymore, so why is it called blood price exactly?
I don't know. They released Galio how he is, and Aatrox is like, oh no, he's balanced, we swear, 42% win rate,
it's a price that the enemy has to pay.
So true. Fennecism's doing a lot of damage to zone them away from that.
Yeah, if you look at the health bar, Richard lost half his health to that one. Rembones will get tower aggro from that Sunfire Cape. Speaking of Sunfire Capes, I really don't like what Jordan's done here. I would really not recommend you
Sunfire too late in the game.
Yeah, I would really not recommend building a Sunfire Cape on Lee Sin very much at all.
Yeah, Deadman's is
a much better option as an armor item. If you really want like defensive stats, then the Randuin's is the option. The Deadman's play a little bit more offensive with that proc.
Doesn't Knight's Vow, when you're near your partner, give a pretty comparable amount of stats?
Pretty high amount of armor, yeah.
Yeah, see, that item is so cheap. I don't know. I mean, I know you don't get the armor when you're by yourself, but I don't know why more solo lane tanks don't pick it up late game if they're just going to be team fighting, because it is a lot of very cheap stats.
Yeah. Alright, Fennecism's gonna get stunned by Scout of the Week. There's a Sonic Wave. He jumps away. A nice kick, or a nice disengage from Tidal Wave, however. Jordan does not succeed in executing with the kick. Aravan keeps his jungler alive. Alright, so a little bit of a calm in this game for now. Evolution down almost 6k gold. And then the Haunting Guys is the option for OG Camel Rider as his 3rd item. Once some of that flat magic penetration, sees only the Spirit Visage on Ryox in the top lane. Gives you a little bit of that extra burst onto squishy champions like the Syndra, like the Caitlyn, like the Lee Sin even. OG Camel Rider going to be handed off his blue buff if he can ever get to it. It's really hard when you're playing a ranged jungler and you're trying to kite away from the camp, but also hand it off.
Yeah.
Because it pulls it away from the wall. You're like, oh no, what do I do?
Stand there and take it like a team player.
And PIGZ might fly. Trying to find vision. There's very little vision from both teams in this game, especially compared to what we saw from last game between
game was
Oklahoma Gold Rush and Pizza Ultra Birth. So many wards everywhere.
You can kind of see what you might see more in the LCS when regarding totems on PIGZ right now. They throw in a lot more blue, what are they called? Scryer's
Orb.
They throw in a lot more Scryer's Orb and sweeping trinkets.
Yeah, in general, you see a lot of Scryer's Orb rather on AD carry mid laner. You see the sweeper on jungle and support, and then the top laner sometimes gets sweeper, sometimes sticks with a warding totem.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what they want to do.
You kind of can't blame Jordan for sticking with a warding totem. It gives you more wards to hop to, but it is costing you in terms of how much vision you can get or deny on Lee Sin. Fenakisms might be a little bit out of position here. This Sonic Wave is going to land, but he's going to be able to make it back towards his team, and I think Evolution is a little scared to try and make plays when you had the threat of Stand United available.
He's a pretty decent split pusher. That's why people tend to pick up the Tiamat and maybe Titanium.
Yeah, there's a control ward in the brush. They're not autoing the ward because that does give vision. PIGZ might fly starting off onto the Baron. It's already down to half. Chinhua throws on a control ward of his own. He sees it going down. There's a teleport coming in from PIGZ might fly. And OG Camel Rider's the one who takes away the Baron a little bit early on Fenakism's Smite. That was very dangerous. That Chinhua almost actually got the... Oh, taunt flash lands this time. Renji flashes away. No follow-up from PIGZ might fly means he will be able to make it out of this one, or will he? Rembones is going to get caught by the Yordle Snapshot. There's a Scatter the Weak on Fenakisms. PIGZ might fly have to disengage from this one. Sonic Wave's going to find Rembones. He's taking a decent chunk of damage, but he is a Shen. He's going to have Ebb and Flow from Erevan to keep him nice and healthy. These junglers. Gotta work on those smites, man. Alright, so PIGZ might fly gonna turn towards the Earth Dragon. It will be their 4th dragon, and Evolution nowhere in position to try and fight for this one. Alright, you get a free pass on not smiting that one because you know that there's nobody nearby. Scatter the Weak comes out, does not quite stun up Fenakisms. You still have both top laners in the bottom lane trying to split push Shadow Dash onto Ryox. Rembone's gonna pop that Spirit's Refuge. Answered by the Titan's Wrath means they actually don't do any damage to each other. But Ryox is gonna have a little bit of a harder time dealing with this Baron buffed minion wave.
He's also 2 levels down. 2 Rembones right now.
Yeah, Rembone's level 17. Ryox actually level 16 just now.
Yeah.
Do have a wave in the top lane to deal with. Close on that Sonic Wave. But Evolution with the inside track onto the mid lane. PIGZ might fly are choosing to give this one up when everyone recalls at the same time. General VG throws out the Venom cast, just trying to do what he can. Fenakism is stunned up. I guess the Scatter or the Stand United as well as the Unleashed Power. They actually are looking for it. They do succeed in keeping their tower alive. That is Stand United invested to defend that one.
Late game doesn't have a crazy long cooldown, but still an important one. You have to be grouped with his team now because he doesn't really have any split push pressure anymore.
So Rembone's actually moving forward. He's looking for a big Shadow Dash. Not going to find anyone, but he pulls the ball in, and that's what they wanted. The Shockwave pulls in 2 members, and they delete the bottom lane of Evolution. Fenakisms jumps forward. He's taking a few more tower shots than he thinks he would have liked. Rembone's still coming forward. There's a Shadow Dash into Ryox. Gonna try and catch him, the flash away, and that means that the inhib goes down for PIGZ might fly.
Looks like they're pressing for Nexus turrets.
Yeah, they're looking for the end here. Rembone's gonna get kicked out by Jordan. looking for it. OG Camera Rider going to get the depth charge, knocks him up. The command protect coming in. Sonic Wave is going to land. Richard zoned away by Fennecisms. And Pigs Might Fly, they get one Nexus Tower and get out. Now they rotate towards the bottom lane, which already has a pretty big wave at the ready. They're going to Baron it up, start onto the push. Scout of the Week only going to stall out for like half a second more.
And Pigs did such a good job this game. 32 minutes in, over a 10k gold lead. 4 dragons, 7-1 towers, 17-3 kills. They have... It's not something that even all happened all at once either. It's been a slow collection of objectives and lack of big mistakes.
Yep.
And they've climbed themselves to this giant, giant lead.
And I would be very surprised. Oh, the Shockwave forces the flash away from Chinois. You don't want to throw out the Mantra Q in order to trade your flash for it.
Yeah, they've had a Baron, they've gotten 4 dragons, they're up 6 towers, they're up 14
Jordan jumped on by Rembo and Shadow Dash taunts him up. He's putting down a lot of damage. And yeah, I would be very surprised if any of these Plat Cap teams allow Rembones to play this Shen anymore. Been doing
It'd be interesting
really
to see
quite
what
a good
Camel
job.
Rider would play if you banned out all 3 of those mid laners we mentioned as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if he's shown anything besides the Zed, the Orianna, and the Sin.
I can't think of it. I can't think of him at the moment. Not at the least that we've seen, you know.
I think he's well, you know, I say that, but it's not a very good champion right now. But the Rise is a possibility. I know I've seen him play that before.
Gotcha.
At some point. Alright, Rembones with the split push. Jordan says, I can't even... Alright, Ryox is going to be the one to try and answer, but already half of the tower going down. Rembones is going to take tower aggro with that Sun Power Cape once again, but he's still just trying to auto the tower down. He's actually going very low. Shadow Dash is back to safety. He's going to get the depth charge and still continuing to shove up here. Ooh, Pigs Might Fly looking for the fight. OG Camera Rider flashes forward for the Shockwave, and General Vici gets on a rampage as he takes out Richard. Rembones and Ryox still continuing to fight up here. General Vici taking a few more tower shots than he would have liked, acing the hole, blocked up by Fennecisms. Shadow Dash onto Ryox once again. Rembones still fancies his chances here, and he's slowly starting to win out this fight. Ryox is down to about half health. He gets the Titan's Wrath shield, pulls him back under tower. Rembones still very nice, and the 4 members of Pigs Might Fly in the bottom lane are taking away the bottom lane inhib. Rembones gets the tower. Now he's going to Shadow Dash onto Ryox. Dredge line blocked up by his body. He's still fighting away, and the members of Pigs Might Fly might just rotate up to the top lane to help him out with his tank. Or go for the last remaining Nexus Tower. There's a Stand United on the General Vici just to keep him safe. Redemption going to come in as they're focusing down the Nexus. Jordan exhausted. Rembones still in the back line. Flashes back towards his team. Pigs Might Fly pick up their first win as the Shockwave pulls in 3 members of Evolution. They finally pick up their first win of the game, or of the season. Knock down Evolution.
It was a really clean game on the side of Pigs.
Yeah.
As
Look at that.
Look at that gold across the board for their team.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the gold lead at the end of the game. 10 towers to 1. 14 almost K gold in their favor. Pigs Might Fly looking very scary after the hiatus.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to
be a
big threat.
Who took the break? H2K, was it? Took a 2-week break after, like, playoffs and then failed? Can't remember.
G2?
G2, thank you.
Yeah.
It was G2.
We are going to pop up the stream poll. Tell us who your MVP for the Pigs Might Fly was, and we're going to take a short break before we get into our 3rd game of the night. Thanks, guys, so much for watching, and see you in just a few minutes.